Okay, so like, you know how we sometimes get caught up in like our feelings about certain athletes
Mm-hmm.
and it like kind of clouds our judgment on them, like when they're supposed to be representing our country and all that?
Oh,
Like it's about national pride and stuff.
yeah, definitely. I can see that.
I was thinking about this because of that crazy Canada-Sweden hockey game that the four nations face off.
Oh, yeah.
The energy was insane. Even more so because Mario Lemieux showed up.
Right.
But like he got the royal treatment, you know? Everyone loved him. But Wayne Gretzky, well, that's a different story.
It is interesting, isn't it? You have these two huge GE hockey legends, and they get completely different reactions from fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you think about what it really means to be a symbol for a whole country, you know?
For sure.
Okay, so picture this. Mario Lemieux is back in his hometown, Montreal, for this pregame ceremony.
Okay.
And, the guy is basically hockey royalty. He doesn't even make appearances that often.
Yeah.
And the crowd, they went absolutely bonkers.
Oh, yeah. Lemieux doesn't really do the whole public appearance thing very often.
Nope.
So when he does show up, it's a big deal.
Huge EE. And it wasn't just like regular cheering either. They gave him a standing ovation for like minutes, chanting, Mario, Mario, over and over again.
Everyone was losing it.
It was like this massive wave of emotion. They all felt so connected to him because he's like the embodiment of Canadian hockey at its finest.
He really is.
Then get this. He calls over Sidney Crosby to share the spotlight with him, like passing the torch.
Yeah, very symbolic.
But where was Gretzky during all this?
The great one himself.
Yeah, he was nowhere near the ceremony.
He skipped it altogether.
He was doing commentary for the NHL on TNT panel instead.
Interesting.
And to understand why this was such a big deal, you got to remember what was going on between Canada and the U.S. back then.
Okay.
Things were kind of tense because of those tariffs Trump had put in place during his presidency.
Right.
Those tariffs really hit Canada's economy hard, and people were not happy about it.
There was definitely some resentment brewing.
Oh, yeah. Some Canadian fans even started booing the American national anthem at games.
Really?
Yeah. And Gretzky didn't say anything about it on the broadcast, which probably didn't help.
Oh, I bet that just made things worse.
Definitely added fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
But there's another layer to this whole thing.
Oh.
Remember when Gretzky went to Trump's election party?
Oh, yeah.
That did not go over well with a lot of Canadians.
That's a pretty bold move considering the political climate.
Yeah, it felt like it clashed with his Canadian identity.
Right.
Social media was blowing up.
I can imagine. What were people saying?
It was brutal. People were saying things like, he's turned his back on his roots, or he's basically American now.
Wow.
Some people were even joking that he'd be governor of the 51st state if he could.
Ouch. So they felt betrayed by him.
Totally. Because here's this beloved national figure seemingly siding with someone many Canadians saw as anti-Canada.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And that's what makes the Lemieux-Gretzky situation so fascinating.
Okay.
Fans were saying things like, Lemieux would never get booed, and he's the perfect guy to represent Canada.
So they see him as embodying everything they value.
Exactly.
I wonder, though, is it fair to expect these athletes to be perfect symbols of their country?
It's a tough question, right?
It is. On one hand, you have their personal choices and political beliefs, and then on the other hand, you have these expectations from fans about how they should behave.
And then you throw in national identity and politics, and it gets really messy.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder, do figures like Gretzky have a responsibility to speak out on political issues?
Even if it risks alienating some of their fans.
Exactly.
It's definitely something to think about.
No easy answers there.
The cheers for Lemieux and the criticism towards Gretzky really show how intertwined sports, national identity, and politics are.
Yeah, you really can't separate them.
It's something to ponder for sure.
I think we've given our listeners a lot to chew on today.
Definitely. Thanks for diving deep with me.
Anytime. Always a good discussion.
Until next time.
See ya.